Okay, so Putin, he did order his military to be on alert with nuclear deterrence in case there is a nuclear attack on Russia, or if Russia feels, now this is very very important, if Russia feels, Putin feels specifically that Russia might be under attack, Putin, then they want to be ready to launch a nuclear missile. Now, they already have sent two bomber Tu-50, I believe the name bomber, in Venezuela. Both of these aircraft, this plane, they're able to carry a nuclear warhead and be able to drop them at a specific place. Now, this is something US is right now freaking out because Venezuela is in South America and very close to US. So US now is finding themselves to be a little bit uncomfortable with this move, but Russia now is preparing for a nuclear war in Russia, in Ukrainian border, in to send them in Europe, at the same time in Venezuela, in South America. I'm pretty sure he has other plans in other South American countries like Cuba, Nicaragua, because these countries, they're backing him up with 100% force. They said we will do anything for Putin. So the point is that he is trying to position his nuclear arsenals against US and its allies, against the NATO allies everywhere. Now the question is though, would he use, or what would be the trigger that would make Putin to launch the nuclear weapon and start a WW3? Number one, as we have seen, the Nord Stream 2 project has been shut. Russia spent billions of dollars to supply gas, oil and gas to Germany. Germany came out saying that we do not need this, rather we are going to cut it off, we are going to shut it off, we are not going to go ahead with this pipeline project that they were about to start. Okay, this happened at the very end, so you can imagine how much money, the manpower, the time they have spent now for nothing. So Russia is finding themselves to be cornered with Nord Stream 2 project, and this is a big loss. So could this be the trigger? Yes, that this will definitely contribute to Russia's eventual decision if they do take to nuke some countries from the NATO states. However, this is not probably the biggest reason. The biggest reason really is going to be the SWIFT bank. The SWIFT, if they kick Russia out, it means Russia cannot do import export business with the rest of the world. They have already put some of the Russian banks under the sanction with the SWIFT. They cannot deal with SWIFT. SWIFT is a interbank transaction code that every country use. Russian banks, Russian financial institution, they are second highest in SWIFT. So Russian, they have like, I believe, 300 financial institution that deal with SWIFT. So if SWIFT says, and SWIFT is based out of Belgium in Europe, if they say we are going to kick out all of these 300, then Russia cannot do business, cannot do transactions. However, there is this fear from the West, from especially from US, that if we do kick Russia out of SWIFT, then they might go to China and find an alternative to SWIFT, and that would bring down US's dominance over Russia, China, and in many parts of the world. So they have this caution that we need to be careful about it. This is why they did not ban all 300 Russian financial institutions. Rather, they have selected a few. They said we're going to ban only few from SWIFT. Now, SWIFT, if they do go ahead and ban all of this institution, financial institution, Russian institution, then Russia's Putin would have a huge loss. And depending on other variables, Russia's Putin might actually order a nuclear strike. Just imagine if Russia is getting completely choked, the economy is choked, they are not able to carry out any business, nothing, and they think that they might starve to death if a situation comes like this, or if Russia sees that we're under this, and Putin himself called these sanctions illegal. If Russia sees these illegal sanctions will eventually destroy them, then why not? Why not? Putin will definitely strike nuclear with a nuclear weapon on US, maybe UK, maybe other countries. But this is looking very, very dangerous, very, very, I mean, we cannot express in words. So take a listen at this video, because in this video Putin is talking about that nuclear deterrence. Take a listen.
Уважаемые коллеги, вы видите, что западные страны предпринимают не только недружественные действия в отношении нашей страны в экономической сфере, я имею в виду нелегитимные санкции, о которых все хорошо знают, но высшие должностные лица ведущих стран НАТО допускают и агрессивные высказывания в адрес нашей страны. Поэтому приказываю министру обороны и начальнику генерального штаба перевести силы сдерживания российской армии в особый режим несения боевого дежурства.
Okay, so again, as you can see, he ordered that nuclear deterrence to be on high alert, because number two, there are two reasons, as I said. Number one is they are under getting attacked by Western powers, or they want to attack Western countries, especially NATO. So there are both side of the equation when it comes to there are two sides of the equation when it comes to using a nuke. For Russia, looks like they are now feeling the heat of this sanction that are being put on them, and of course they're not feeling very good about it, and they might go ahead and do something stupid, something very, very crazy in the coming days. However, there is a very good reason, I should say, that Russia would actually not do any of those silly things. Here is what happened. So Vladimir Putin has ordered his military to put Russia's nuclear deterrence forces on high alert in response to, quote, aggressive statements by end quote, by NATO countries. The order came at a meeting between the president, the defense minister Sergei Shoigu, and the chief of the general staff of the armed forces of Russia, Valery Gerasimov. So he is talking to his high-ranking generals. Putin, he is talking to the high-ranking generals to get an idea, to get a sense of what the military thinks and what the military will do. Obviously they will listen to Putin, but the point here is that he also wants to get a feeling of how they will react. That's why he brought them in. He is not somebody who would bring these army generals for no reason. Quote, senior officials of the leading NATO countries also allow aggressive statements against our country, and Russia's Putin is not happy, end quote. He's very, very unhappy with this. The rhetoric, in other words, against Russia right now, Putin is coming to know, or coming to his senses, that the response of NATO and US and the other countries will be in-proportionate. Okay, it will be like more. Okay, the reaction will be much worse than what Russia did in Ukraine, and Putin believes that Russian forces in Ukraine, they're really not doing anything too bad. Yes, I mean, civilian casualties, death will happen, but according to him, looks like the Russian army, they're doing a very good job. They're protecting lives. So he's basically asking this question: why then we are so nice to these people, and the US and the West is just throwing one after another sanctions against us? So he's like, you know what, these people are really a bad people. They're really our adversaries, and they have shown their true color. Okay, this is why Putin is getting a little bit frustrated here. This is what it looks like. It is not immediately clear what the special mode of combat duty, end quote, special mode of combat duty entails, Putin has warned foreign countries not to interfere in his invasion of Ukraine, saying that it could lead to consequences that they have never seen. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations responded to the news from Moscow while appearing on CBC. Quote, he said, President Putin is continuing to escalate this war in a manner that is totally unacceptable, Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield said, and she said, quote, and we have to continue to condemn his actions in the strongest possible way. So again, they are justifying their rhetoric. They are saying whatever we are saying, it is not enough. We need to come out as strong as possible against Russia because they are evil people. And Putin is all of a sudden thinking, well, why they're calling us evil, why they're freaking out, why they hate us so much. We have never seen their true color until we invaded Ukraine. So Putin is actually not as I said, he's a KGB agent. He was a army officer, and he's not somebody who would just accept this kind of rhetoric, aggression coming from the West and not doing anything. He's gonna do something. So let's see what happens. We hope for peace. He's gonna be talking to Zelensky, Ukrainian president, I think today or tomorrow, to find a way out. See what kind of negotiation they will do. New here, subscribe. I'll see you the next one. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Take care.